Well, now and look at the team. You guys are supporting other athletes that are not part of the family.
Yeah, totally.
So that's really awesome.
Well, that was just to do a stopgap before Kaos could race. Back then, no, that's not true.
Well, no, now it's filling the gap because he's not racing anymore.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, we had some great riders come along as well, and I was so glad we gave the opportunity to those riders. I wish again we could have kept some of them. You know, like Mike Jones back in the day. You remember how good Mike Jones was, and I was gutted when he left and went somewhere else, because I believe that again would have been a platform to take two really good juniors, which was obviously Tahnee and Mike, all the way through to being two really good elites. But obviously, you know, we didn't have the finances back then to keep hold of Mike. And if we wanted to carry on doing what we're doing, you know, we had to let him go. Yeah. So, yeah, off he went. And then, obviously, you know, Kaos's intention was always to be world champion. As a kid, that's all he wanted to do.
Racing.
You know, yeah.
Did he verbalise it to you?
Yeah, he told me several times.
Really?
You know, yeah. Oh, yeah, he wanted to be on Sam Hill's team as well. Didn't want to be on our team. He wanted to be on Sam Hill's team. But that was, you know, that was back then. And then he realised that, yeah, free riding's a lot better than racing.
Well, for his personality type. Like,
exactly.
You said he was always doing other stuff. Like, when did you notice it before him that he's probably going to step away from racing?
Yes and no. Kind of, you know, he's my youngest son, and if anyone knows, you know, father and son, we can butt heads quite a bit. So as it was becoming more pressure for him to race, I noticed that him and I were arguing a lot more, which is not the right environment to be around either. So, you know, it just, and you could see that it was upsetting him more and more as well. You know, his natural ability only took him so far. Yeah, and then you've got to put in this whole, as you know, you've got to put in this whole other side to be the very best. And Kaos at that point just wanted to ride his bike. You know, it wasn't all the other side of things that, and I'm not going to take this away from him because he does train, but you know the hours in the gym, you know, all of those kind of things, that wasn't him. That's not who he is. Yeah, he'd do enough to be fit and be strong, but it wasn't that extra bit. He would much rather go out and send it on his bike.
The other problem is rest. I would guess that when you're meant to be resting, he might be out dirt jumping.
Exactly.
So he's actually doing more. Like, he's very bike fit.
So
it's not isolated to racing, and then that was killing him to be like, sit still. It's like, is that where you guys butted heads?
Yeah. You know, that's the thing as well, is like, you think you're doing everything right. It's like, I'm riding my bike, I'm doing all these things, why aren't I faster? You know, and yeah, that's where we butt heads, because it's like, oh, if you did this, maybe you'd be a little bit faster out there.
Yeah, and a teenager or young 20-year-old doesn't take much feedback from a father.
Oh, definitely not.
I didn't.
Definitely not.
And that's not much.
No, and that's where it's been. That's been the hardest thing about running the team, is the relationship that I have with Kaos. That's been the toughest thing.
I can imagine. Yeah, that must be really
tough. You know, it's
tough.
different with Tahnee. Anyone that's got, you know, father and daughter, it is different. You know, we can sit down and chat, whereas I could sit down with Kaos and chat, and I could tell him I've got a blue shirt on, and it would be the wrong shade of fucking blue, man. It's, you know, it'd start up in an argument.
It's just how it goes. Yeah. It's nothing like wrong or right with you or him.
No,
like,
definitely not.
It took me till my mid-20s, I would say, to actually like reflect and appreciate everything my parents did. There were glimpses, and I butted heads crazy with my dad when I was 18.
Can you speak to him then?
To Kaos? I certainly...
No, he's good, dude. He's got so much better.
I've probably gone through a bit of that with Danny and stuff. Like, you know, it's... Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well...
It's just like, I kind of tell most dads, like, yeah, that they're not going to realise for a little while, even though you wish they would.
No.
It's not about appreciation, but it's about the conversation and connection of
exactly.
Like, oh, he was doing it for the right reasons, and he actually knew. But yeah, they're like trying to find themselves as men, I guess.
But also saying that, you know, you see him now, and he's a completely different character than he was when he was on a race team.
True.
You know, he's still part of the race team now. You know, he still puts in, he still does some line stuff when he's there. He still, you know, hangs out with the crew and the team, and he's so much better. And everyone in the team says he's so much better now as well, because he is way more helpful, but he's also doing the things that he wants to do, and he's out there inspiring others. And that's all you can ask for.
Are you guys, is your relationship a little easier to manage?
Totally.
Because he's like in a better place, and you're like accepting of that.
Yeah. We still butt heads, we still
it's part of the game.
Exactly. But it's much better than it was. Much better.
And he's doing awesome stuff, like you say, inspiring stuff. The edit he did was really amazing. That was cool. I see him at Dark Fest most years.
Yeah.
And other events.
He's a
great lad. Like, it's great to be around him. Yeah.
And again, I know he's my son, but he's got that style about him which is just effortless as well.
Yeah, no, people might think you're biased. No, you're not biased. Like, his style is insane. Like, it's he's a world famous free racer, or are we just calling him a free rider?
I don't know what
is these days.
Dude, we've said this before, and we've said free racer, and then I've been called out online like, what the fuck's a free racer? But he was good at racing. I think in his crossover year of going into free riding, he would have been a free racer. Like Brendan.
Brendan coined the phrase. Yeah, we coined it for him.
Yeah, exactly. But he's now gone totally off of that, and he's just riding his bike. And like I said, it really is inspiring others.
It's cool that in this day and age, like, I guess with the internet and edits and brands seeing it like that, there is a place for him. Because in like, I don't know, 15 years ago, there might not have been that transition period, because he like didn't start in free ride, so he maybe wasn't in like the movies.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And he would have not had a place in the industry.
No.
But now, like, the brands like see it. And then he's still like under your umbrella, but they're like supporting him for doing what.
Exactly. And they can see the potential in it as well. He can be used for so many more things. I think that sounds terrible, using my own child, but he can.
Well, you could describe it as that, but it's not malicious.
So with Tahnee as well, I suppose.